guys, and welcome back to another great episode of Partner Honesty. I'm Tiffany.
I'm Megan.
And today we are talking about apologies.
Apologies. We are going to do a quick
Rewind that real fast.
So the last week we kind of recapped a lot of our last episodes and we got, again, a lot of feedback on dating. One good suggestion that was told to us was doing coffee dates. That way you can make it as long or short as you want it to be. And
That's
if
a
you
good
can
idea.
get people to talk enough, you can learn everything you want to know in the first hour.
I think that's really cool.
So
And
I
then
think-
you're in a public space. You're not like, what the heck, trying to force something. So I had my coffee. I'm done. Okay, bye.
Yeah. What else was there? The parenting question about kids leaving. And most people still agree that they should pay some rent.
Yeah.
Another commenter said that if you make them pay rent, it becomes a legal tenant
And I did not know that, and I should know
tenant landlord situation. So you'd have to follow certain rules to kick them out, which
that sucks. I think that sucks.
if the tenant don't know, no, my kids
This
wouldn't
my
know
house.
that. Yeah.
If
My
it's
kids.
my house. You're going to get out when I tell you
Yeah.
to get out. Meet a friend that you don't want to meet.
Yeah. So I think it was good feedback, recapping a lot of our episodes. So if you haven't listened or watched them, a lot of good exchanges, a lot of good topics. So go back and check them out.
Check them out and subscribe, guys. We need you guys to subscribe
Yes.
so we can become famous. Okay?
Yeah. I mean, and this isn't overnight fame. We've been doing this 3 years. So it's not overnight.
Amen. Amen.
Our topic started today because conversating with a few friends, they brought up the conversation and asked me, when do apologies not seem genuine? Yeah. Well, why do they seem fake or do they not seem genuine? When do apologies just start becoming lip service? Like it's something you're supposed to do. And then the second part to that comment she made was, what do you do when the apology becomes a trigger? So I was like, she's like, you should make that a podcast conversation. I said, we will.
We will. Amen. We thank you for that.
Yeah.
So trigger for me, when you first mentioned this topic, I thought about trigger. Trigger for me means that, okay, there's something you're doing, something that's happening that either puts me back in the space of the original blow up, offense, bad situation. And so thinking about that, I thought about, okay, if that has become a trigger, then you must be repeating that same thing I've told you I don't like. Don't do that. It's pissing me off. You're repeating that over and over again. And so why would I believe your apology? Because evidently I'm not being heard. You're not hearing how that makes me feel and you're not stopping. So every time a small inkling of that situation pops up, it is going to be a trigger for me. And I'm already going to put up my wall and we're not going to talk. And I don't want to hear your apology and just leave me alone.
Well, isn't that what they say? Doing the same thing over and over becomes a choice, not a mistake.
It is.
So I feel like in that theory, you're right. If you come to me and say, Megan, I'm sorry I parked in your grass. Okay. If you've done it so many times before and I've told you, please don't do that. And then you say, sorry, the trigger is probably like hearing you say that again with the same offense behind it. It probably creates like the resentment, the anger. People say leave the past in the past and don't bring up old shit. But it's kind of like if you're doing the same behavior over and over and then you keep apologizing, that apology starts to just be nothing.
It is nothing because you don't mean it. If you can continue to make that same mistake over and over again, how do you mean that you're sorry?
Yeah.
I don't believe it. And then it's just every time it happens, sure, the first time you do it, you say you're sorry, I'm probably good. Second time, I'm probably good, but I'm not as good as I was.
Like you're trying maybe.
Right.
Yeah.
So, okay, the third, fourth, fifth, sixth time, no, you're doing this on purpose because I already told you that pisses me off. Now, if I haven't told you, which this is my problem, if I have not told you that pisses me off and it's creating a trigger for me, then that's my fault because how is the other person supposed to know I don't like you parking on my grass if I never say anything?
Right.
So if that internal dialogue is like, he don't give a crap or she don't give a crap about my feelings, but I've never said it out loud, then that's something we got to fix. So is the trigger self-inflicted or is it I've said it and I feel like you're not valuing me and you just keep doing it? And then the other thing was, is that also personal trigger for you based on what you're telling yourself? So, for example, one of my triggers is I'm always going to fail or I'm not going to get it right. So if somebody's critiquing me, that's going to kind of rub me the wrong way and be a trigger because I have this goal of I want to do everything so perfect and so right. And everybody's happy and loves it. Okay. Now, if you don't know that about me and you say, well, Tiffany, I think you should do this a little different. And that triggers me. That's not your fault.
Right.
That's
Right.
my fault because that's my internal mantra that I'm telling myself. So is that what you're dealing with or not? I don't know.
Yeah. And I think too, the apologies, I think it starts honestly when they're young. Kids do something wrong and you just say you're sorry, but you don't have them explain what you did was wrong, why it was wrong, so they understand it. It's kind of like your program from the time you're young. You drop something. I'm sorry. It's okay. It's an accident. But it's not like, were you paying attention?
Yeah.
What could you have done differently? Teaching why you're apologizing, then recognizing the action. Because I think you have that in adult relationships, but even with your children. Like one of my kids will say, I'm sorry. I'm like, no, you're not. You keep doing the same thing over and over. I love you, but that doesn't mean you're sorry.
Right?
You're saying what you think you have to say. You're not saying sorry because you genuinely are sorry. You made the conscious choice. You've done it multiple times. This isn't like, let me do a run and see if I get in trouble. Fifth time, you're doing the same thing and saying the same apology. It doesn't mean anything.
No, it doesn't.
And that's the same with adult relationships. If we get into a fight and we're telling you you're trash and we talk real ugly and then say sorry afterwards, and then you say, well, we fight like that. It really hurts my feelings. And then the next time we fight, I do it again and say sorry. I'm not recognizing or acknowledging that what I'm doing is hurtful, what I'm doing is wrong, and I'm just saying sorry, and that's supposed to be a blanket.
Well, I think that's important what you just said, teaching people to recognize, take the beat to be like, okay, let me understand what you're really saying I'm doing that's pissing you off. And okay, if I can understand it and validate it and then put myself in your shoes and see, gee, well, if he did that to me, I would be pissed off too. Then I think you'll get to the point where when the person does say, I'm sorry, they genuinely mean it because they took the time to understand, oh crap, this is why she's triggered. This is why she's pissed off. This is why she doesn't like
or
me
even
to
in the
do that.
apology, say the reason.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I realize that when I say these things, it hurts your feelings. That was not my intention. I was just giving my opinion and I forgot you told me that this hurt. That's more of a genuine apology than just like, I'm sorry you feel that way.
If you say that to me,
oh my God, when people say that, I'm gonna be like, bitch,
I'm gonna punch you in your throat.
What? I'm sorry you feel that way. That's like totally invalidating anything.
Yes.
Because
if I said that to you, you'd be pissed off.
Yeah.
I'm sorry you
feel that way.
It's like a slight, like, what's wrong with you? Why are you feeling like that?
That's all about, that's your problem. Yeah.
No, it's our problem. Yeah. And then you better get it together or else.
But I think you see that though, like, and I think in healthy relationships, you learn to how to, because it's never going to be perfect.
No.
You could be with somebody, Nick and I have been together like 10 years and we still have these things where we say, well, wait, that kind of bothers me that you say that or that you did this or whatever. But the other thing about that is the person doing the offense has to be able to hear the other person. And even if it doesn't make sense. So like for Tiffany, always wanted to be perfect. Doesn't make sense to me. Like nobody expects her to be perfect. Nobody expects anything to go perfect. I will never understand that. But if it makes you feel a certain way, you have to be like, okay, how do I do this or word this or whatever so that she doesn't take it as she's not doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that takes a lot of work in a relationship, a parent-child relationship, a friendship. And obviously that's hard.
Yeah. Because I remember when we were on our trip this last time, you were trying to fix something and Ed was watching us and how we interact. And he was like, well, how come you two can work together and figure it out and help each other? But if I jump in and say something, it's going to be a cat brawl. And I said, because I let her express and do everything and show me everything she's trying to do first before I just jump in and try to fix it. Because if I just jump in and try to fix it without understanding how your mind works or how we interact and what you need me to do in order to get to the answer, it's going to go bad. We'll probably start yelling at each other. I was like, what the heck? Why are you mad? Well, because I'm doing too much. I'm not taking into account how you process, how you do things. And I said to him, I just let her get it all out and then I interject. And I don't
Well, and I
know.
like that you said, okay, what did you do? So I tell you everything, vice versa. And I love Nick, but he'd be like, did you turn the computer on? Like I would get that basic question that I'd be like, I'm not stupid. Like I would just get like, so you were like, well, what all did you do? I'm like, I tried this, I tried that, I clicked this way, I clicked that way. So like, I think too, it's like communication.
Yeah. And I think women, unfortunately, gender does matter. Women process stuff very different from men.
Yeah.
And I'm learning that we had a conversation, Ed and I, and we were talking about just communicating. And I'm like, well, shoot, I'm telling you everything happening today. I'm telling you what my friends said, who called, what I got to do, blah, blah, blah. To me, that's communicating. To him, that's not communicating. That's just sharing everyday life. But we need to sit down and have serious, full blown conversations about life. So I think perspective on how actions make a woman feel versus how they make a man feel is very important. You can't leave that out.
Well, probably asking Claire, especially if you're in a relationship, a stranger, obviously it's harder, but like in our friendship, I would have to be like, Tiffany, I know she got upset. I have no idea why. Can you explain it to me? Like you have to be able to figure that out because honestly, I'm like you. If I talk about my whole day, I feel like I've communicated. Every day, I don't want to come home and talk about saving the world. And I don't think Nick does either. I think, but in general, I think men typically, I could be wrong, want less detail.
Yes.
And women give more detail. So, I mean, sometimes that's switched or reversed based on personalities. But I think somebody could be feeling like you're not communicating, but in your mind, you're like, what the hell else can I communicate about? I told you what I did for breakfast. I told you what I did. Like, yeah. So I think
so sometimes your triggers might be because your perspective on something is very different. And I do feel like you should have those conversations where you kind of learn the core of an individual. How do you process sadness, anger? How do you grow up with saying, I'm sorry? Was it, I'm sorry, and you took the time to understand why you're saying you're sorry, or you just was taught, just say it and get over it and leave it alone? And then how do you receive that apology? Do you always receive it kind of like me, like, I'm gonna watch you from now on because you done messed up, so I got to make sure you're not gonna keep on messing up. So how do you receive apologies? And then forgiveness, that's a ugly word.
Yeah. Yeah, that one's hard. Because if you say I'm sorry and I say you're good, you're supposed to just leave it then, right? Because she apologized. I said, we're good. It can't be something you keep bringing up. But I think that also changes if there's a pattern. If you do the same thing every 2 days, I'm not going to let that go.
Okay.
You've created a pattern.
So devil advocate. Now we Christian people, we love the Lord Jesus. Amen.
We do.
He say you're supposed to just forgive 70 times 70. And I'm like, Jesus, now
but forgiving and forgetting are two different things. Forgiving and forgetting are two different things. I can forgive 70 times, but I'm not going to forget the 69 times you did it to me. So that I think causes, I feel like I can forgive you, but I might change our relationship. I might put some boundaries in place. I might do things to protect me. Doesn't mean I don't forgive you, but I am now not letting you into that space to hear that 71st apology. My other thing though, too, is like people just say sorry like it's good morning. And I feel like if you're truly not sorry, don't say sorry. Say, hey, I wish I would have knew better. I would have done this or that. But if you're not actually sorry, don't say it. Because what's going to happen is you're going to repeat the dang behavior because you don't agree with you. Oh, I'm sorry. I hurt your feelings. Well, the next time I'm going to do it again because I think you're ridiculous and I didn't care.
So I think that's where the trigger comes in. When I notice that you're saying sorry, but you really don't get it, you don't understand, then for me, I'm already setting myself up to realize you're going to keep doing it. And then what do I need to do in response to you still doing it over and over and over again? And then for me, there's come a time where I'm just like, forget the relationship. You're going to keep doing what you do. You're not going to recognize what I'm communicating to you and saying, hey, I don't like this. I need for you to do this, this, and this. And I'm just going to be done. the one that I have done that with, it's very sad. It's very hurtful, and I really don't know what else to do, but I do realize, okay, if I keep putting myself there, I'm going to be the one that's getting hurt. And who's responsible for that? Me or that other person when I know they're not really sorry?
Right. Yeah, and I think too, like you're saying sorry, sometimes people are wanting us to apologize for things too that are so old. Like, I don't
Don't you
know.
be talking about me, Megan?
Well, I'm thinking of other people too, but like when I was 25 is a lot different than I am now.
Yeah.
And I only knew what I knew.
Yeah.
I went off the best that I could, what I did, what I know now. Would I do the same thing at 25?
Mm-hmm.
No, but I didn't know that at 25.
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel like some people hold people to the past versus like nothing you could do would make it better. I can apologize for your childhood. I can apologize for your marriage. I can apologize for your finances. I could do whatever it is I affected, but they don't let it go. And do you really feel sorry? I mean, I'm sorry it worked out that way, but it's also the only thing I knew at the time. I mean, I'm sure
That's
we could have all
hard.
made changes,
I think
but
that's hard because I think at 25, whoever I offended or pissed off back then and didn't say sorry or didn't get it right, most of them probably not really in my life now. At 25, when I did stupid stuff, and that person, say, is your significant other, and we're still together. And at 35, okay, maybe I didn't do as much stupid stuff as 35, but okay, there's still some stupid stuff. But I am learning and growing. I think it's a little bit hard, especially if it's Jesus, if it's something that you keep having a conflict over
yeah,
to to
you're up
say,
to, yeah,
to say like, okay, I just don't get it. I'm still gonna just keep doing it. I think in those situations it's a little bit harder. Yes, sure, there are things I should forgive and forget, but the trigger for me is what keeps reminding me. And it could be just you touch my leg like this, and I'm like, oh shoot, wait a minute, I don't like that because that reminds me of whatever. And just a small reminder can put you back in that first blow up. And I don't know how you really let it go if you don't address it. Now, if you've addressed it, okay, I think that's like you said, the person making a decision. But if you're trying to address it and it just doesn't work out, then I don't know if I could just let it go like
yeah.
that.
But I also think about kids though. I mean, every kid has a version of their childhood, right?
Mhm.
Good, bad, ugly, whatever. And let's say you had kids at 20, right? And maybe you got divorced at 25 or
Mhm.
30, whatever. And, they obviously had a whatever,
Mhm.
but now you're trying to be present.
Yeah.
And now you're trying to do all the things that you know. At what point you've apologized for the things that you can't? I'm sorry, I could have done this
Mhm.
differently. I could have done this better. But at what point do people need to let go, take that apology because you can't go back and change time, right? We can't go back and change time. And as long as it's not a certain offense that
Yeah.
obviously, but you didn't like your childhood or you just,
Mhm.
it was certain moments were crappy or
Mhm.
whatever. When do we say, okay, they did the best they could. They've acknowledged it. They've apologized for it. They said they wish they could have changed it if they could.
Mhm.
And now let's say me, I'm now 30 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm 46, but I'm 30 years old. My mom's now 50, whatever it is. I need to move on. We need to let that go and build our relationship as adults now because now I have the power. I'm an adult. I can
Yeah.
see you when I want. I cannot
Yes.
see you.
Yes.
You don't affect my bills, all of that. Why aren't people letting the past go? Is an apology just sometimes never going to be enough?
I believe sometimes an apology is never going to be enough. I also feel like people don't give grace until sometimes they experience the same thing that they are pissed off about. Now they're in that same situation. Can you see the different perspective of, oh crap, this is what my mom went through when she was doing this and she did
Yeah.
this and this, trying to be the best version or the best person, or my dad, oh crap, he went through this too. And now
Well,
I'm in it and I can see the different perspective. But I also feel like it has to be acknowledged.
right. If
If
they've
it's not
said,
acknowledged,
yeah, I've messed up.
okay,
I should have been there, or I should have done this, or I shouldn't have throw out your favorite toys.
yeah,
I shouldn't have
yeah,
put you in daycare. I don't know. Whatever the issue is
mhm,
with the child. if you've taken ownership, you've apologized, you've said, I wish I could go back and do it different, but I can't. And here we are. Like,
that's hard. I don't know. I think until they are ready to have a relationship with you more than just, hey mom, hey dad, then they might not.
yeah.
Can
I
you
think
get
it
over
comes to
it?
healing too,
Yeah,
though.
can you get over it? Do you want to get over this? Do you want to have a different
Right.
relationship? Do you want to heal yourself? And I think
Most people just want to be angry. I feel like a lot of people want to be angry. They want to have somebody to blame. I
and it
think,
justifies their actions.
yeah,
If
yeah,
I could stay pissed off at you, and even though you said sorry, and I can use that as leverage to get what I want from you, or to make you feel guilty to get what I want from you, or to justify to everybody else in the world, I'm not talking to that person because this look what they did to me. And
yeah,
that gives me validates how I'm feeling, makes me feel good, puffs me up, and everybody else is supporting that, then why do you have to forgive? Why do you
yeah.
have to accept that apology or heal yourself in that situation? You don't.
Because unfortunately, I think you see it a lot. I know we're top, it's kind of, but is in divorces. You usually get one parent, sometimes, not all times, don't come at me, sometimes that pin the kids against the other parent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then really I think, like you said, once they become parents, they realize, crap, maybe this wasn't all true, or maybe this wasn't the way it actually was.
Yeah.
But if you're not willing to see that for yourself, sometimes people, I think, give up on apologies because they go nowhere. If you're not willing to hear it, and I've tried to explain myself, I've tried to say I'm sorry, I've tried to take accountability, I've tried to offer to go to all these things, and you're still like this. I mean, at some point, you have to know also when to walk away
Yeah.
from the apology.
Yeah. And
You
then
know,
you can't use the trigger, or you're triggering me because you keep doing stuff over and over and over again. But I've said I'm sorry, and you're not willing to accept that or acknowledge that I'm genuinely trying to understand and say I'm sorry and learn why is this pissing you off.
right.
You can't hold them accountable for that if they're trying and you're just like, no, I'm done. But I also feel like that goes back to what are you thinking about in your head that you can't allow the apology to come?
Yeah.
Is it because
You
you're
don't want to, or
afraid
you've
that
been
they're
so
just
used to
gonna
it.
keep hurting you because maybe in this situation it has nothing to do with that person. You kept getting hurt. Well, you gotta let that go because that's not the same person. And
Right.
so that's what I go through is like, okay, I have this crazy in my head, but I'm putting on Megan, I'm putting it on Ed, I'm putting it on my kids, I'm putting it on the world, and that's not fair. And so it's me. So sometimes it's you, and sometimes it could be the other person.
Yeah. And I think too, when she mentioned, I just get, the verbiage, I just get tired of hearing the apologies. I think that's true. I think the words I'm sorry lose its value quickly.
Yeah.
And the sincerity behind it. Just like we said before, if your actions don't change and you're still saying the apologies, or you're just adding on different shit, like, okay, I didn't park in the grass, but now I'm going to go park in your garden. It's not what I said, but it's the same crap.
It's the same thing. You
How do you
disrespecting
not
me.
see? And then you're apologizing again. And I'm the person getting hurt by it, not you.
Yeah.
You're gonna pull off, and I'm gonna have to go fix the yard or replant my plants. And you walk away with saying I'm sorry, but I'm left with the work. And same with emotionally.
Yep.
You say you're sorry, but if you've hurt me, I'm left with the work of processing, letting go, moving on. You just said the words I'm sorry.
And that should be it. No, I do firmly agree with you gotta show me better. You can tell me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, actions speak louder than words. I say it to my kids all the time, all the time, all the time.
So you can say
I'm
sorry
like, you
all
can
you
say
want.
sorry all you want, but if you go turn around and do the same damn thing, it means nothing. And I've told that to all my kids. After the second time, I'm like, don't say sorry to me. I love you, but don't say sorry because you're not sorry. You chose the same action. You completed the same action. You tried to hide the action. You only are saying sorry
because you got
caught.
That's the part I don't like.
That's it. Because you got caught, you got in trouble, and your body says, say you're sorry. Maybe get a little teary eyed. Say you're sorry. I didn't mean to. I don't know why I did it, but I'm sorry. Nah, that's not valid. That's not valid.
That is not.
Nah.
That's you got caught and you like, oh,
You
how do I
scrambling.
make this okay so she's not pissed and upset and let me do it real fast so we can just move on. No, we can't just move on. If you're gonna say sorry, we need to have a conversation.
That's what I tell, especially the kids, because they get busted doing something and they say, I'm sorry. I'm like, no, why did you choose to do it that way? Why did you go again? Explain to me your thinking, because obviously I don't understand. And then don't say sorry if you're not sorry. If
Yeah.
you're only upset you got caught, don't say sorry. Say, I'll make different choices next time. I'll come to you first next. Say something else, but don't say I'm sorry, because you're not sorry if you're not sorry. And that's where you lose when that same person comes back to you the next time and they're always saying, I'm sorry. You just start to feel like, whatever, dude. No, you aren't. Whatever, dude. I'll see you next week.
I think I would prefer that you didn't say you were sorry.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'd rather you say, I fucked up. I'll think more next time, or I'll whatever. Don't apologize, because apology to me is sincerity.
Yes.
And if you're really
not,
don't say it. Take accountability for what you did. Hey, I should have called.
Yeah.
Hey, I should have whatever. But if you really do feel bad that, like, I'm sorry you were scared, I'm sorry you were nervous, I think that, but don't say I'm sorry I did that if you're not.
No,
like,
don't. Because
you're just going to go do it again if you're not sincere. You're going to literally,
you're not going to think about it. That's not going to stick in your conscience. Okay, that's probably something I shouldn't do, because you don't have that remorse. And I think that's what's missing when people say I'm sorry just willy-nilly. I need to see the remorse. I need to see that you grasp how that made me feel, why I'm so upset, how hurt I am, or whatever the emotion I'm going through. I need to see your remorse, that you are sorry that you did it. Not that you got caught, that you did it to me.
Because, I mean, you have to think about everything that you do is a choice you made. So if I go cheat, right? I lined it up. I snuck around to do it. I did it. I leave. And then I'm sorry you're upset. Like, those are all my choices that I did. Like, I did all those choices. Or like, if you sneak out your window as a kid, you snuck out, you planned for your friend to pick you up around all those things are like planned out. It wasn't like, I can see an apology when something's in the moment. Like, I was at the theme park and I got excited to get on the ride and I left you behind. Like, that's all in the moment.
Yeah, in the moment.
But when you are planning stuff out, were you thinking you were sorry you were doing it?
No.
When you were doing it?
No. You just got sorry when you got caught.
Yeah.
That's all teenagers when they do stuff. They like,
and adults.
I do feel
people
that
steal all the time. So you go and you steal something, stick it in your purse, and then you're like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm like, were you sorry though? Because you literally planned that out.
No. And I think that's where the triggers come from, is that I sat and thought about everything you had to do to get to the point where you did the thing that hurt me. And now you're saying sorry. I don't trust it. And yes, that's going to be a trigger for me every time I see you moving like in secret, or you're doing stuff that, okay, I'm watching you. I see how you move, and it looks like you doing some planning to be deceptive. And okay, oh shit, now I done caught you. And you, oh, I'm sorry. No, I can't. That's why it's a trigger.
I agree. I agree with what you're saying. When somebody hurts you or whatever, you look at them differently. You do. You watch their patterns. You see what they're doing, the way they move, all that stuff. So, did I forgive you? Sure, but I'm smarter now. So when I see you doing the same thing, I know you're not sorry, because I'm already catching you doing it. I already
triggering me every moment.
Yeah.
You're triggering me every moment. And every time I react and be like, what are you doing?
Then I'm the crazy person.
Why you being triggered?
Yeah.
Why you all up on my business? Why you watching me? Dude, because I'm trying to tell you, or girl, you pissing me off. I don't like you doing this. I've told you. You said you were sorry.
Yeah.
And now we're still back in this same situation. Or I'm watching you keep doing the same thing. That's where the trigger comes from.
Yeah.
And you can't trigger me for so much before I'm like, you don't see Tiffany no more.
Yeah.
Get away from me.
You need boundaries for sure, because some people, I'm so sorry I did that. And they say it every time the same way, the same voice, the same lack of sincerity.
And it's going to piss me off every time I hear your voice go like that.
But you also can't be, I know it's like contradictory to what we're saying, but you also can't be afraid to take ownership and apologize, but have a reason. Hey, I'm sorry, I blah, 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 to show sincerity, instead of the like, hey, I'm sorry, like the whole, I'm sorry you feel that way. I'm sorry that say, I'm sorry if what I said upset you. I didn't mean to, blah, blah, blah. Then people, I think, take it as more of like, oh, they really thought about it. Or they really realized.
It. If I can say I didn't intentionally, I can see how you feel, but that was not my intent.
We have to take
Okay,
that.
yeah, I can move with you a little bit longer because now you're trying to show me that I understand and that was not my intent to
Especially
offend
because
you.
we're so different. Everybody's so different. How
Yes.
you were raised, how I was
Yes.
raised, our life
Yes.
experience. You know, you might be able to walk up to somebody and be like, "What the hell are you wearing?" And they're like, another person you say that to, they go home and burn the outfit and cry and like, so you don't know personality. So
Yeah,
when they
that's
say, "Hey,
true.
I didn't mean that," sometimes you have to say, "Okay, they did.
Yes.
They don't know me that way,
Yes.
or I don't know them that way," and they have a sincere. But there's other things that I call bullshit. So
Not the bullshit.
yeah, like who you playing?
Well, all right. So, what do you guys think about apologies? Do they become triggers and why? How do you want to be apologized to? And what is your way of apologizing for things that you've done? Let us know down
Or
in the comments.
what's your limit? How
Your
many
limit.
apologies for the same thing until we just say we're good? No more.
It depends on the person.
Why?
I'm not going to just throw you away. We got 6 years into this thing, 7 years. But somebody.
But if I did the same thing 10 times
I'm just going to
and was like,
stop being close to you. I'm just going to start moving this
well, right.
way.
So how many times is it?
I'll probably give you about 20 times.
Our
Somebody else.
friendship would be really good by then.
Somebody else. Because if I see us being Golden Girls and having a whole little house or something,
It's
take
so
care of
funny because
each
every
other.
time we go somewhere, they're like, did y'all go together? We're like, yeah.
But a newbie,
What kind of questions are?
you might gonna get 1 or 2 times. The last person, I think they only got 1 chance done, and the other person
But sometimes
got 3 chances.
Sometimes those things, though, are character things. Like the one chance and done, those are character things. So I feel like if you dirty, like you hid or you lied about something super severe, that's a character trait. I'm not putting you in my circle. So
yeah, about one newbies, about 1 or 3 times. People that's in the inner circle, you might get about 20 times, and then I'm.
that's funny.
All right, guys, please share, subscribe, and like. Leave your comments down below. And until next time, bye, guys.